I live in the middle of an urban area here in Santa Rosa, California, the hood. And even when you live in the hood, there's great opportunities for foraging, what I call urban foraging. And today we're going to go after something that is in abundance in this county and in this area. Excited to know what it is? Well, stand by. Let's get out in the field here. So what are we foraging for? Well, it's right over here in this tree, right here next to the bicycles and all the road work signs. We're gonna be harvesting some English walnuts today. One of the beautiful things about California is virtually every nut that can be grown here, and there's so many public places here that have trees that just bear fruit and nuts that people never bother harvesting. This happens to be an English walnut tree as opposed to a black walnut tree. There's a difference between them. If you've ever picked and processed black walnuts before, you'll probably never do it again. Your hands get pitch black. The nuts are very hard to crack, very difficult to extract the meat from, whereas the English style walnuts, they're pretty easy to get the meat at. They have to be cured for 2 to 3 weeks, sitting on a baking sheet in a dry place. But man, they are really nice when it's time to do some baking. So today we're going to focus on the harvesting. I think we found our tree right here. You examine the tree closely and you can still see quite a few nuts up there, and you think, well, what the heck, how are we going to reach those babies? Well, there's an abundance on the ground too that you can see here. Anybody need a bicycle? You are in the hood, by the way. But we're going to go ahead. We've got a secret weapon here that I'm going to show you. Well, here it is, guys, our fruit and nut picker. It's on the end of a 10-foot pole here, gifted by my good friend Kathy. This is going to allow us to reach up into the trees and grab a lot of these. Look at that, we just pulled down our first 3 there. Right inside. So we got some work to do. These are nice and fresh. They're going to be easy to take the skins off of and get the walnuts out inside. So let's get to it. Oh, there's a whole flock of them up here. He's good at spearing them. Even them knocking them down is okay. You can always pick them up off the ground. Okay, well that tree is on somebody's property, fair enough. But what hangs over the sidewalk and everything is considered public. Go snag some more. This thing works pretty well. Not beautifully, but works well enough. Yeah. What a bounty, huh? Urban foraging at its finest. Let's just make sure we don't have any hood rats that give us a hard time. That's our biggest risk out here today. Is that they won't even know what this thing is, but they'll want to take it from me, right? So let's see if we got anything else in here. Move in. Watch your ankles so you don't round them. Walking on nuts. Quite a few here. And when they fall, they'll frequently do a lot of the work for you and just fall off. So let's put this into the bag here. Probably already got a dozen in the hand here, so let's keep going. That's all right, we knock them down and we grab them. This is a blast. I love doing this urban foraging. Let's see, you can drive all around the city. You could get so many of these if you wanted. Oops, just for the taking. I'm a little bit out of practice here. I'm grabbing them. Exciting as crabbing, right? Down here. Try not to get boinked on the head. I got flying walnuts here. I got plenty of them. Plenty of them. So fun to be an urban forager. Another nice load of them there. You can see all of them. I foraged them. Foraged in there. The best ones when you have these outer husks that are already falling off. Then you have the perfect English walnut right there. It's so easy to get at. So that's a preference. Always to have ones that are sort of open, because that shows that they're ready to be picked and harvested. Let's see if we can go on to another spot. Yeah, it's a nice cool day today, which really helps. It's, I don't know what the heck today is, October 12th? Something like that. So it's kind of prime time where they've dried enough that those outer husks have come good. So the thing is, you want to learn to be able to identify a tree, and if you see like a tree that's hanging out that you know, has a lot, and you see somebody walking around the yard or whatever, you might ask them if it's okay, because you know, people get a little let's just say, you better watch your ass around here when you start picking off of trees and stuff like that. But in a lot of ways, that's what adds to all the excitement of urban foraging, right? You might get your ass kicked while you're at it. All right. So another thing too is, a lot of people plant fruit and nut trees here because, well, you could stick a broom handle in the ground and everything grows around here. But that means that most of the fruit and nuts goes unharvested because people get tired of it. Oh, you know, tired of picking up oranges and lemons and limes and grapefruits and all that stuff. So they just tend to eventually just cut them out because they're just too much work, right? Just too much work to tend to them. So we're going to keep moving on in the hood here. See what else we can find. But yeah, I would say probably 90% of what's grown here on private lands just is wasted, so it's kind of a shame. Let's see if we can roll on to a couple more fruitful spots. We just found one right here. Let's pull over and commence the picking. You know the drill, we gotta always check the tree box first. If there's any goodies around, which there's not. Here's a really nice walnut tree here. This one looks really good for picking. I'm just kind of trying to examine. This looks like a little bit of a smaller variety, but I'm making sure that these are like open. Yeah, these look pretty good over here. So let's get set up for some more picking. While I'm over here, you might as well see the difference between a black walnut tree. This is a black walnut tree here. You can see all the stains on the ground from where all the nuts got crushed and everything. But they are really, really difficult to process, and you have to use a pick to get all the meat out. You can see it all on the ground there, right? And here's here's one right here. You can see the husk of it, but boy, you really have to wear gloves when you do this work. I tell you that, because you get your fingers all darkened. All right, let's grab our picker. Yeah, don't be dissuaded by the gang markings and things. You're pretty much safe in the hood if you live in the hood. That's kind of the rule. That could have been a nice big screen TV right there. But what a nice tree. So let's see what we can get off of this baby. Really nice clutch here. These are like a smaller variety, but that's good. There's multiple varieties around the area here, so it gives you a good chance to kind of check them all out. And what makes this good is it's behind a fence here, so there's no rabid dog or rabid neighbor's gonna come out and yeah, so if you're freaked out by dogs on chains, and just keep a tight one and stick about your mission. Don't get clubbed in the head. Clutch we just grabbed there. Look at that. Really nice, really nice. The nice thing too is we have two varieties of English walnuts here, which will be nice. Guys, we got our 3 or 4 pounds of raw nuts here. We escaped without injury or dog bite or Always watch over your shoulder here. So let's get back to the Rancho, okay? We got a real bounty here. Woo! See if we can bag a squirrel today. There he goes. That's supposed to be good eating, those tree squirrels. There he goes. Yeah, there's so many of these walnut trees. Just to take another quick look. I think that's a walnut. No, that's a fig tree there. So you got lots of fig trees. Well, everything that you can grow here, right? That's a huge fig tree. But I don't really like the varieties of figs. Well, not even back to there's the repo, man. Man, this guy's been running around the hood like crazy. I think he's gonna repo that. I think he's gonna repo that truck right there. Trying to get into position. What a hood! You can see I have a whole mess of whole pile of walnuts here. Now the trick is, walnuts are gonna stain your hands terribly when you go, and it's gonna be very difficult, especially the black walnuts. They actually use that stuff for a dye. Okay, so you definitely want to glove up. And then it's a simple matter of just stripping off the outer husk here, right? And then just freeing the walnut that's inside of it. You can clean it up a little bit if you want. Some of the shells get a little dried from being in the sun. But there's one that's ready. And we'll crack one that's immature. It's not ripened yet. Well, I shouldn't say ripened, but it hasn't really rested and dried out. They have to be processed for a while. So yeah, it's pretty easy. If any aren't open, I just give a cut along like that, and then just free the beast right from the middle, just like that. All right, there it is. What could be easier to do? But remember, protect your hands, right? You'll regret it, right? And you go to shake hands and somebody will be like, I'm gonna give that a pass. I love you, but yes. So yeah, I hope you had a blast. Urban foraging has its own unique challenges. It's kind of like big game hunting. Out in the Serengeti, right? You don't know exactly when that lion's gonna come up on you and leave you babbling like a fool out there on the street, right? What are you doing out there? I'm gonna kill you, man. If you touch my tree. Woo, yeah, but it's hanging on public property. Yeah, let's talk about it, dude. All right, and all of a sudden the whole family's out there on the street with you. Then what are you gonna do? Isn't that exciting? We can go ahead and crack one of them just to show you guys on the inside. Got here. Babies. The nuts are easier to crack once they've been dried for a few weeks. You can see that meat inside of there. There's that nut meat, and this really almost dried out here. See, that's a pretty good chunk of meat right there. Pretty good, but it's not perfect. It has to age for a bit. But that's what it looks like on the inside when you crack one of these. Delicious. Great for baking, great for bacon. There's what we hauled out today. Pretty doggone nice haul, huh? Now all we have to do is just get a baking sheet, spread them out, stick them in the workshop for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're ready to do some fall baking. So there they are. We'll be back to grab you after Halloween and make something delicious. That was a heck of a fun day today. I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast out there, right? Man against nature in the urban hood. It's always fun. Hey, you could probably, if you worked hard at it for a day, you could probably harvest 200 pounds of walnuts out here, and I don't know, thousands of pounds of black walnuts and English walnuts. I mean, it's there for the taking. It's a great place where everything grows. Hey, this is a good time to ask you, if you've not subscribed and you enjoyed today's video, urban foraging at its finest with all the thrills and chills, I ask you to just take a second and hit the subscribe button and that bell for all notifications, and a thumbs up on the way out the door would really be appreciated, everybody. Thanks for being along.